Today's video, we're going to talk about dental pay-per-click advertising. My system to best grab dental clients from a local area around a dental office, 3, 4, 5 miles around a dental office, using Google search ads on how to best use Google search ads for this, and Bing/Microsoft search ads for this. For a dental clinic, you really don't get any better than search engine ads for your business. It in itself, not immediately, but over years that you run the ads can pretty much, from what I've personally seen from the other dentists that we work with, keep people coming in sufficiently enough to where you don't have to worry about any kind of other advertising. If you have a smaller clinic, if you have a bigger clinic, you need to do some lead generation in addition. That is, for some of your specialty services like Invisalign, emergency services, whatever it is, do side marketing and have a way you can run ads outside search engines. For the most part, for like Invisalign, it's run if somebody's looking for stuff on YouTube about Invisalign, you can have your ad, you can have an offer, get 20% off of Invisalign at our local office, get them to fill out a form or call, boom, you have a lead. And you can do a lot of other stuff that if this isn't quite enough for you, or you need people to come in right away because you just opened, you can do a so-called lead generation for your dental office. And you can contact me later on after this, you watch this video, if that's what you need. You need customers and you need them now. 10, 20, 30 people a month coming in, which obviously those people are gonna be, if you get treated well, come in again and again every 6 months or so. That'll keep your doors filled and you can handle a huge swell of customers all at once, but trickle out over time like that. Google search ads with a combination of the Bing search ads with it can be perfectly fine to suit your purposes there. I'm gonna go through how to run these search ads the way that I found works. You can save yourself a ton of time just not doing the stuff that I found doesn't work. And then with the stuff that does work, how to absolutely milk it for everything it's worth. In terms of the specialty services side, how people are searching has been broken up into like 2 main categories that I have found. I'm going to tell you how to exploit each one, which one's more profitable. And with that, I'll tell you, if you watch to the end of the video, how profitable this is for a dentist that I've worked with in the past. I've worked with several, but specifically for one dentist where we really did well and the client gave us the flexibility and control to really go ahead and do all this stuff properly all the way. I'm Corey Zyman, owner of Guaranteed PPC, a PPC/online advertising agency that offers guaranteed results to their clients. We, literally speaking, do not charge our clients management fees until we can deliver a minimum result with their campaign up front. You know, basically make the services we provide profitable even after the management fees. We don't work with just any client, but if you got something that we can really wrap our hands around that we know we can do well with, we will not only work with you, but provide you a guarantee. If you are a dentist, we will, generally speaking, always provide you a guarantee, with the exception if you have really crappy reviews, you have 1-star reviews on Google, which makes it significantly harder to do business. But even then, sometimes we could probably work together and fix that. Reach out to me later if you're interested in just having us set up this campaign for you, give you the keys to it, what you need here, without having to do the work. But with that said, getting into the actual strategy here, in case you want to do this for yourself, the main number one thing that I could tell you right off the top will provide you so much value, saying nothing else on this video. For running your Google search ads, which about 15% of the people searching for a dentist office are going to use Bing search engine, believe it or not. And the customers from Bing are going to come in at half the rate in terms of the cost of what it costs to bring them in the door in terms of advertising than what it does on Google, roughly speaking. You want to keep your Google and Bing ads limited to running only the 3-mile radius around your dental office, at least for any non-specialty services. You know, other dentists mostly offer it in the city that you're in. Why is that? Because people are only going to go so far to get to a dentist. And for what we found through our own split testing, it's around 3 miles. After that, you get a significant drop off in your effectiveness of your ads. You'll get people to click on your ads, they'll get to your website, and then they'll realize that you're too far away. They'll click back to Google and then go ahead and go with somebody else. You can take my advice and not waste your time going outside of there. And knowing that you can only advertise 3 miles around your dentist office, and there's only so many people searching for a dentist office within 3 miles of your clinic, you got to be able to get a lot from what is there to get, which is why you want to go ahead and take the rest of my advice here so you can get all of it. The number one thing that I do on all my Google campaigns, not just in the dentist space, but all the campaigns I run nowadays, are using a campaign structuring system called the SKAG method, or single keyword ad group method, where you're gonna write, you're first of all not just gonna pick 10 or 20 keywords to advertise with. You're gonna find the 800 different ways people search for dentistry services. For every variation of how people search for dentistry or to look for a dentist, you're gonna write a handwritten ad for every single one of those, so that if somebody's typing in top painless dentistry service, your ad is not gonna say dentist near you. It's gonna say top painless dentistry service, just how they typed it out, because when there's 4 ads at the top of Google to pick from, and your ad says exactly what they were searching for, who do you think's ad they're gonna click on? What a lot of people will say is, but yeah, there's a type of an ad, dynamic keyword insertion ad, where whatever they type in can be put in the ad. That's okay, but I've got a video on why you don't want to use dynamic keyword insertion that I go into detail on that. Mainly as it's unpredictable in what gets shown to the user. So if they type in free dentistry services, that's what's put into the ad. It'll get somebody looking for a competitor office, that gets put in the ad, and then they get confused and they waste your budget and they waste your secretary's time. You don't want to do that. You want to handwrite the ad. Of these 800 ways they search, you want to put brackets around each keyword, which is what they call exact match format keyword types, so that if they aren't typing in exactly those 800 variations of searches, your ad is not going to show, which makes everything super tight and super efficient. You're not going to show up for people looking for information, tire kickers and whatnot. And then of the people who search that are left, you got the best ad that gets clicked at 3 times the rate any of your competitors' ads get clicked, which is going to then give you not only just more market share, Google's going to really like you as an advertiser, and they're going to show you as many freaking times as they possibly can, because there's no guarantee when they type in dentist near me that they're going to show you. When you have an ad that gets clicked at that kind of rate, they damn well want to show you 100% of the time. They're also going to charge you way less for a click when you do that. So instead of paying $6 for a click, you can pay $1.50, which makes all the difference in how much you're having to pay to get a customer in the first place, which you work hard for your money. You don't want to give it all away to Google, right? I don't have to tell you that. And so that's what you want to do if you want to get the most out of what's there to get within that 3-mile radius, and you want it to come at the highest ROI possible. If you do have a specialty service nobody else in the area offers, such as an Invisalign that not many dentists offer, you can go wider than 3 miles. But in that case, you want to know how wide you should go? Just look at all the other clinics in the area. I would go as wide as, like let's say the nearest other dentist who offers Invisalign services is 8 miles away. Well, I would basically run my ad 4 miles, like halfway there, to get the biggest bang for my buck. If it's really profitable and I'm getting like a 5,000% ROI because Invisalign is super profitable to do and not very competitive, maybe I go and I experiment with going, instead of 4 miles, I go 8 and see if I can get that to work. But in that case, you don't have to just mix it in with everything else and just say, oh, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. No, you actually run a second campaign that targets between 4 and 8 miles around your place, whereas your core campaign you already have running that's working well is just focusing on the 4 miles within 4 miles of your clinic. That way, if it doesn't work out, you didn't affect the progress and the learnings of your core campaign that covers 4 miles around your clinic and that's it, and shows you what you're paying for a new client in that 4 to 8 mile range as compared and contrasted to the 4 miles around your clinic directly. And from there, you can see if it's worth doing or not. Or maybe you find out it costs 3 times as much to get a client from 4 to 8 miles than it is from 4 miles in. So then you tell Google you're willing to pay half as much for a lead, half as much for a click, and then it becomes profitable. So you can have more fine tuning there to get it to where it will work for you. So you can get some from that area, not everything, but at least some, and that some will come at a ROI that's acceptable. Part of the way that you evaluate that is you track every lead coming in. You track every phone call using a call tracking software. You use form tracking to track every form fill that gets submitted. You do in-store tracking. There's a way by linking your Google Business account to your Google Ads account, you can see how many people saw your ad or clicked on your ad and then later on came in. And you use that as a so-called conversion or KPI that indicates whether or not the campaign's working, and if so, at what rate or what level, so you can see you're hitting your minimum ROI that you've set up to meet at your business you want for your business. And then it becomes easy. Anything you're doing that's not bringing that certain cost per conversion, you get rid of, and parts that is, you do more of. And you constantly reinvest your money from what's not working to what is, and you keep scaling up how much you can make until you've maxed it all out. That all said, okay, there's two categories of keywords you can target here. There's gonna be the general keywords like dentist near me, dentist, Dallas, that kind of thing. And then there's the service specific keywords like root canals near me, crowns near me, veneers near me, Invisalign near me, and the like. Which, by the way, small secret here, near me terms are gonna be more profitable than like any of the other keywords that you have. Why? Because if a person uses near me, they have so much commercial intent. That is, they're gonna turn into a customer at such a high rate as compared to someone who types in Invisalign or Invisalign services even, that you're just gonna end up with the best ROI that from those terms, at least click per click to click, comparing one click to another click. That's what we found in general in other local services, but also in the dentistry space, it's also true. Or knowing all that, your cost per lead, that is what you're paying to get a call or a clinic visit, is gonna be similar regardless if they're searching like generally speaking, like a dentist near me versus crowns near me. That is gonna be the case for what you're doing. But your margins, however, okay, are gonna be 2 to 3 times better on the service specific keywords than they are on the general searches. And the reason for that is pretty obvious. People that come in for a dentist on average are coming in for a cleaning, or they just like to have a cavity. They're not coming in to get crowns, right? So if you could target someone looking for crowns specifically, that it's like gold, untapped gold. And with that, you want to get everyone you can. But to get the most out of each one of these service campaigns, what you're gonna wanna do is write down every single service you provide on a spreadsheet. Then you're gonna write down what the average ticket size of each service is on that spreadsheet in the second column. Then you're gonna then in the third column write down how much you can pay to get a clinic visit as a result of that based upon the average revenue per service that you're getting. So that when you go and you set up your campaigns, you can set up a separate campaign for each service separately. And then what that gives you the ability to do is set up a certain target cost per conversion for each service separately, so that you max out the amount of leads you can get for each service separately based upon the revenue potential of that service and what it possibly can bring in. So you may only have your ad show up 50% of the time for people that type in dentist near me, because if you spend more per click to get more traffic, it isn't profitable for you to do anymore. Versus on the crowns near me, it's so profitable, you want every last click. You're willing to spend more per click than you are for people typing in dentist near me. Flexibility of being able to pay the max amount to get you every click you can on crowns near me, and only cherry pick half of the clicks for dentist near me because those are less profitable. You'll get more overall profit from Google Ads, treating each searcher based upon their presumed value as a patient at your dental clinic, if you will. Separate campaigns for each service, and one campaign for general searches, dentist near me, dentist services, dental clinics, like that. If you wanted to do a little bit more to get, and this didn't satisfy you in terms of the customers that came in, you tried this already, you're making money, target people who are looking for information, like I was saying at the start of this video. Information about Invisalign, information about crowns, and then just basically run an ad saying, we offer a crown service for 20% off. Fill out this form for a voucher code and we'll give you 20% off. Literally speaking, they'll be on YouTube and they'll type in what's a good way to get crowns? They're watching that video about the exact topic. Your video ad shows up directly while they're watching it with that offer that says, hey, we're the best at crowns in the local area of Long Beach. The user being that they're in Long Beach as well. If you're gonna get your crowns done with us, we'll give you 20% off if you click this ad right now. This is, you have to though click this ad and fill out the form within the next 24 hours or otherwise it's, we can't give it to you. You get the email, you call them up, you say, hey, would you like to book your appointment? You got somebody that can come in. That is also what you wanna do as well. There's a bunch of people doing research about dental services. Maybe they even went to a dentist, they got a quote, then they're on YouTube seeing if what they were quoted on, is that accurate information? Should they get a second opinion? Whatever. At least for the bigger services, because it's a big decision. A lot of these services, it's multi-thousands of dollars to get what they need done. A discount, it taps into, exactly what they want in that they think it's expensive. Otherwise, they wouldn't be researching it. A lot of people do research because they want to make sure they don't get screwed up. How do I really know I need a root canal? Whatever. But you get the general idea. It's not real complicated to do well with Google search. It's not a matter of if you will make a profit, even if you want 1,000% ROI on your campaigns. It's a matter of how much profit total can you make, because you set everything up. The better you set it up, the more, like I said earlier, you're gonna get out of Google Ads. The better you set it up, the more you'll get out of it. Because with Google's smart bidding systems, as is with Microsoft/Bing's system. You can set the system up to get you a conversion. The more you're willing to pay for a conversion, the more leads you're going to basically get, because the system's going to run your ads more aggressively the more you're willing to pay for a lead. Based upon you studying after you've set this up, how many people that come in actually close into a revenue generating person. Then you can go in and say, hey, I'm not making enough money here. $60 is too much to pay for somebody to come in. I'm willing to pay 30. You tell Google that, boom. You start getting the calls for $30 a call right away. You get less, but the ones you have left are $30. Again, it's not a matter of can you make money at the ROI that you want. It's just how much total sales can you get at the ROI you want. And it's all doable as long as you set up your tracking systems the right way from the beginning. And it's to your advantage to understand what you should be paying for a phone call to begin with. If you do that, you're going to have to do that at some point anyway, once you've been running these ads, because what the typical person is going to do is they're going to get in 3 months into it and they're going to scratch their head and they're going to say, is this actually working? And then you're going to have to run these numbers for yourself anyway to know what you need to pay per lead. Or you're going to be like 70% of the people who dentists who run ads who are totally winging it. They say, I can only spend $300 a month and they have no clue if it's working or not, versus you know when it's working. You're willing to spend $3,000 a month and you're making way more than the other dentists because you're running it at full speed and they're just barely turning their ads on because they don't understand the 300's confidence to spend $3,000 a month. If you don't understand, how to set up these tracking systems or just don't want to put this together, you have two options, one of which you could just buy our ad templates. We've already done this in the dentistry space. We could sell you the winning ad, landing page, campaign templates, all of it. Give it to you. You put it into your own ad accounts, you'll get the results that I'm talking about here. Or if you want somebody to come in and just set it all up for you totally hands-free, because even the landing pages that we create for the client that is a part of getting these results, which I didn't talk about, they need to be rebranded. The ads need to be rebranded. 80% of it stays the same. 20% needs to be changed. You still got to set up good tracking systems. We can set it all up for you and we can guarantee you get so many phone calls per your starting ad budget, or we do not take a fee. So we offer that. It's up to you depending on if you want to be a little bit more hands-on or not hands-on at all and just have it all done for you. Those are your two best options. If you have any questions, by the way, if you just have one-off questions, you can always leave me a question or comment in the section below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or comment on this channel, usually within 24 hours time. As it comes to landing pages, I mentioned that I haven't covered that yet. You absolutely do need landing pages. If your pages on your website, you don't know for a fact are conducive in getting a high rate of calls per ad click. In the dentistry space, if you're not getting 30, 40, 50% of people to call you that hit your page, you're doing it wrong and you need a dedicated landing page made by somebody who knows how to make landing pages. Just like you wouldn't suggest to somebody to get their cavity filled by somebody who's done it twice. You don't want nobody doing your damn landing pages that's made 2 landing pages. You want somebody who's made 200 or 2,000, okay? Which is what I've done in the last 20 years at this firm and for companies that I also still run. Why? Because it's way harder than it seems at the surface. Just like I could say, how hard could it be to fill a cavity? I shouldn't have to pay more than $20 for that. It's so easy. You're just taking a little drill and you're done. And you would be really pissed if I said that to you about what you're doing. But that's what people do about landing pages to us. They say, why should a landing page cost $3,000? If we sell a one-off landing page, that's what it costs. But you're going to make $3,000 a month when you start using my landing page because you're going to get half of the people who click your ad to call, and your cost per lead is going to be way less than what it needs to be, which in the dentistry space, it should be like $10 a lead. And the difference between paying $10 a lead and $30 a lead is an extra $2,000 a month down the freaking toilet every month when you don't have that landing page that's in use on your campaign. So instead of it costing $3,000 one time and you're done, you're going to piss away $20,000 a year forever. It really is just nothing in the grand scheme of things, but people get emotional about how much marketing stuff should cost because there's a lot of people offering cheap marketing services that'll tell you what you want to hear that are just absolutely awful. They're done by people who don't have any clue what they're doing. No offense, but this is the case in all the medical fields, if you will. People in the medical fields, as do lawyers, they think anybody who hasn't get a doctorate don't know anything. Like if your job can be done by somebody with no college degree, it shouldn't pay a lot. The reality is anything that makes money that's tied to making money directly, sales, marketing, yeah, it takes just as long to know what you're doing. It still takes 10, 20 years to know what you're doing. It's just not done through a college program formally because there is never going to be a program that you could take to learn how to do marketing, because once everybody does one thing, people get immune to it, the customers get immune to it, and then something else is going to have to work and be done. Just like if you were hunting an animal and everybody that's hunting animals wore orange coats. Well, the animals are going to catch on. You're going to have to start wearing something else. Otherwise, you ain't going to catch new animals after that. That's how marketing works. You got to adapt. And you got to be smart and think on your feet to be able to adapt and stay ahead of everybody else. And it takes a fairly high IQ to even be able to do it effectively. And anybody with a high IQ can do a million things and make money. They can make 6 figures anywhere. And so if you're not going to pay someone 6 figures to help set your stuff up, you're going to get a bonehead doing it. And that bonehead just doesn't have the mental horsepower to know how to do it effectively. I know this is very unpolitically correct, but this is a reality. There's a lot of people who say they offer PPC services for $500 a month. You ain't getting nothing for that. Even gonna scratch the surface on what you should get if you do it right. That's just the way that it is. You get what you pay for, basically. Anyway, with that said, if you also want to have other tips, you should definitely subscribe to this channel. This channel has better information that you're going to find on YouTube and online about how to make millions of dollars running ads for your business. I go into specific detail on each one of these individual aspects and factors I talked about on today's video, on other videos on this channel. So if you're going to pay attention to anybody that's going to get you to the goal of making millions of dollars a year at your clinic, this is the channel that's going to, I promise, be the best for you to do it, and we'll do it for you. We've had many people actually make millions of dollars after following the advice on this channel. I get people emailing me all the time now that talk about the results that they're getting doing this stuff for themselves. If you want to know how to do it, subscribe to this channel. I also have a great blog where we got the same kind of stuff going on. We got people that read the blog, they've tried the information, it works. The blog actually has my step-by-step instructions to execute certain strategies where we've gotten results for clients that are our go-tos to guarantee the results, with screenshots, with the step-by-step instructions. If you like the channel here and the information I present to you on the channel, you also are going to be able to find that same information, same level of information on the blog, and in a more detailed way even. So if you like the channel, you're going to like the blog just as much, if not even more, as a lot of people do. I pretty much think I covered everything I could cover about dentistry, PPC. I could go into detail on doing a little bit more with the lead generation side, expanding what you can do outside of search engines, but that covers it mainly because most of you guys can do well already just with the information I gave you, so I kept it pretty much limited to that. If you have any questions, like I said, leave me a comment in the comment section below. I'll get back to you. But with that said, hopefully that helped. I hope you make a lot of money, and I'll see you on the next one hopefully as well. See ya.
Remember when I said near me keyword was important during this video? Well, this video here tells you how to do it.